It looks like that weather's taking a turn for worst again. We're supposed to be getting 40 mile an hour winds early morning, but also the temperature's going to drop down to 0. So any tender plants that you've got, you're going to need to protect. I'm going to use this propagator. It's stood empty at the moment, apart from a couple of bits and bobs that I've put in. I put one of his pepper plants in there. It's a bit warmer and it gets plenty of sun, so it's helping those to ripen. But now we need to get some other pepper plants in there. This plant is about finished, but I've got some around there in containers that have got plenty of peppers on, but they're not going to cope very well with 0 degrees. So I'm going to put them in there and hopefully they'll pull through. So if you've got any plants like that yourself, if you can take them indoors, if they're in containers, do that. Pop them in a greenhouse or wrap them in bubble wrap, preferably both, and that's going to help them get through that drop in temperature if it happens at your side of country. If you've got any polystyrene boxes, they can be very handy. You can put your smaller plants in there and they'll stop that cold getting in. Also, these don't have bottoms in them, so I fold this sheet up and I'm going to place it in bottom. That's going to help protect it from that cold rising. And we can start and get as plants in. As you can see, they've got loads of peppers on and they're ripening as well. This one is the same. Lots of peppers. It'd be a shame to lose them. I can get one more in, but I'm going to have to raise it up. So I'll just use some of these. And this is another one with lots of peppers. They're not huge peppers, but every single one is trying to ripen. See that wind's getting up already. Put an extra piece of wood at the bottom as well, so we can just lift that up, stop those doors rattling through night. That's the good thing about these propagators, because they have 2 or 3 shelves, but when needs be, you can take them out to get your bigger plants inside. So that's all set up, and we'll get it closed for night. If it gets any colder, I can line inside of that propagator with some bubble wrap as well. We'll see how they get on over the next couple of days. This green stalk planter's already been through 40-mile-an-hour winds and slightly higher, and it's not moved. Really stable. So I don't have to do too much with that except cover those plants, because these French beans are really starting to come on. This has started to colour up nice now. Look at all those chili peppers. I'm definitely not going to leave that outdoors. It don't get any bigger than that, so I can just take it inside, pop it on the table and wait till this cold passes. And since we bought that new shed as well, this one has got space in for some bigger plants if needs be. And there's also space in this shed where we keep washer, which is drying some onions out in there as well. And we've put a bit of lino on the floor, so that's going to help combat that cold. So we can get quite a few things just in this area. I am still getting fruit from this. That's a not chili plant, and it's called Armageddon, and it did get to a very good size. But since it's still trying to ripen its fruit, I'm going to pop that in this shed. And of course, the other problem, 40-mile-an-hour winds. So we've also got to shelter as plants, otherwise all lot's going to end up knocked over through night. Those two apple trees I've tied to the side of this shed, so that should stop them tippling over. Plus, they're also shielded from side of that shed as well. And rest of plants, I'll stick in between these planters. Carrots and onions are very cold hardy, so I don't have to be too concerned about those. But we have got that vertical planter, and that's got French beans in it. They don't like the cold at all, so we might have to put a bit of bubble wrap around it just to help them along. We've also got peppers in this planter. Not much we can do about that except add a bit of bubble wrap or a bit of fleece. Hopefully they'll pull through because there's some really big peppers on here still. It'd be a shame to lose those. So a bit of fleece and bubble wrap and we should be alright. Them spring cabbages, they'll be perfectly fine. No need to do anything with those. And of course the strawberries, they can stand through winter. So everything here doesn't need any attention. It's definitely worth doing whatever you can when these temperatures start to drop, because things like peppers and chilli plants, they don't like cold. So if you can offer them some protection, make sure you do that. And from now on, keep your eye on that weather, because we've had some quite mild nights and then all of a sudden tonight it's dropping to 0, and if you miss it, there's a very good chance you'll lose a lot of your plants. Well, that's all those plants sorted out for now, and I suppose we should expect it, especially since we're in October. But every little bit of effort we make is definitely going to make a difference. But one thing I can be doing now is thinking about which plants I want to overwinter, and that is definitely one of them. It's an amazing looking plant, and that's the reason I've brought it in already. As this fruit continues to ripen, we'll have lots and lots of different coloured chili peppers, reds, orange, green, and so on. And you can see when you take a closer look, it's doing that right now. So apart from overwintering this basket of fire chili plant, it does also kind of look like a Christmas tree. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of the channel, and I hope your plants don't suffer when we get these cold snaps over the next few months. But you know that there is plenty of things that you can do to offer them that little bit of extra protection. And if you want to see what happens as we go through the rest of October, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I look forward to seeing you then. You all take care.